Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loimacito is the best.
Okay, couple of updates for you guys from Dubai, UAE, sorry. And I've taken this from people who run businesses. Okay, so these are very close friends of mine. Some are clients. So I spoke to them at length from the last 3 days, and I tried to ask them various questions in relation to business. How was it going? Strategies. So maybe this might help you. The first thing is the people who ran online stores or had businesses that were based online, okay, or through a network. In Diwali, it seems that the Hindu festival, their sales actually shot up. And I was surprised when I was told that for the last 3 weeks, they have been so busy. They said, I did not get time. I employed freelance staff. It was crazy. Okay. And some even told me like business was so down that I was almost like crying or in tears. And I wanted to just close down and, go back home. And he's saying, but then I just purchased expecting some demand, but it's a good thing I kept extras. He's saying so busy that I didn't sleep, literally, just was sleeping 4 hours a day. Next day getting up, we are packed with orders. So made more money this Diwali than ever in the history of last 5 Diwalis, it seems. Okay. Then one other person who runs business said that plenty of competitors had shut down. And because they had shut down, he kind of enjoyed the monopoly of taking in all their customers and clients. So even some switchgear businesses that closed down, the switchgear owner, what he did was the companies that shut down, he headhunted the best number one in each of these companies, gave them even, surprisingly, gave them even 50% more than what the market was willing to offer them. And I asked him, why did you do that? So he said that, Loy, they are coming with a wealth of experience. They are coming with contacts, connections. They are coming with expertise. And they are desperate because they want to ensure that their job is secure. So I'm offering them something nobody would offer. And they'll give me the 100%. I can overwork them like crazy because they know during these tough times they'll not get anything. So to my surprise, the departments that he didn't have people or he didn't need, he even employed them there with a primary reason that they can generate more income. And as of now, it seems that he has no regrets because the wealth of experience that they are providing and the benefits that they're giving is quite high. So that was another person. Then I also spoke to some people who are doing trading businesses. They said that business has been good. People have been spending. And he's saying in many cases where outlets were misleading people with false sales. Like for example, something is $10. They say buy one get one free, but instead of $10 they're making it like $15. So buy one, get one free for 15 bucks instead of 10 bucks. He's saying people are buying senselessly. He's saying there were some even who put it up to 18 bucks. Yeah. People don't use their brains. He's saying, I was very happy to get rid of excess stock, very happy to get rid of old stock. He's saying people just bought like crazy. So I just sat down to reflect as to why this would happen. And then I realized that people, this is my analysis, huh? This is mine. So you can tell me maybe if I'm right or wrong. During this pandemic, everyone was living in fear and sadness and worry and stress. So during a religious festival, they just want to break free. They just want to have that few moments of happiness. And not only for them, rather they would focus more on the family, for the wife, for the children, and they would say, see, listen, one life, let's enjoy this moment. We'll worry tomorrow, we'll worry about tomorrow. So, and people tend to feel happy when they keep others happy. It's emotional overlay, So they let caution to the wind and they end up buying something for the family, something for the mother, father, the wife, the baby. They buy something for themselves to feel happy, to enjoy that moment. So they don't think of holding on to that expense. And sometimes when you have too much of self-control, you're holding, you just want to break free. Same thing happens with diets. You don't eat, you're fasting. Not eating chocolates, just drinking water and salads. So the day you decide, okay, I'm going to end this diet, you just explode into a tsunami of, eating all the chocolates, eating everything else, pleasuring yourself, stuffing your mouth, from pizza to fast food to everything else, and to the point where you literally end up putting on all the weight that you lost and even more. So I feel this is what has happened. They just said, let's be happy for once. Now, the problem is here. I'll tell you what the problem is. This is Diwali. Next one will come a sale which the government has planned out. Then comes Eid. Then comes New Year. Christmas. So, New Year especially, people go bananas. People go crazy. They're just so restless. I have to spend money, man. I have to spend money. I have to enjoy my life. People become restless. When I was in my 20s, I was like, fuck, Christmas, I have to do something. New Year, I have to go somewhere. Spend money someplace. So people become restless. They don't care. It's a override of emotions, And the only problem with this is, fine, you can enjoy. But then, Diwali, sale, Eid, Christmas, New Year, you enjoy all this with the hope that next year is going to be good. Okay? So people give an excuse to buy that iPhone, the Samsung Fold, the expensive clothes, the shopping. Obviously, they can't go holidays much, or they might just go internally. January is where it's going to dive nose down and crash, because now nobody has money. Okay, nobody has money, and everyone's like, okay, we enjoyed enough, time to focus and generate money now to make money. But here's the thing, okay, you're going to make money, but you will make money being busy. But for that you have to sell goods, because if nobody sells, you don't make money. Now the question is, you remember these people said, we increased our sales. Okay, they increased their sales because somebody had closed down their business. Now when you close down a business, let's say for example, I have a business, I'm an owner, I have 100 people who are working with me. And these 100 people are getting a monthly salary, and 100 people are buying stuff. And through my business, another 10 companies, they were supplying me goods and I was paying them cash. And each of these 10 companies had another 100 people each. But now what happens? I close down. So now, after I close down, I don't have excess money to blow, because I have to pay off my debtors. These 100 people are working with me who are getting a salary, who are shopping in restaurants, who are shopping in outlets, who are going to places to enjoy. They don't have money to eat outside. They don't have money to shop outside. They don't have money to go anywhere outside. They'll sit at home. So you have loss of 100 people's business. And then if you look at the other people who are depending on this business, they lost one major client who gave them revenue. So they'll tighten their belts. And if they have to get rid of expense, they will terminate few staff. So it's not only these 100 people, you can say another 100 people lose their jobs. Okay, so now you have this problem. Now what is next after this? People will expect that business will improve. Okay, now this is a problem with being overly optimistic. Everyone's expecting January the business to grow. Everyone's expecting. But now the question is, what is going to grow? Who is going to travel? People who had to traveled from before Christmas to after New Year. And then it stops because everyone has to work. So now January is going to be a total dead month. Dead. Okay, work is going to be there, jobs are going to be there, vacancies are going to be there. But business is going to be fucking bad. And I can assure you this much. Nobody is going to spend, nobody is going to eat outside. Okay, if they're going to eat, it's only going to be people who have a lot of money. But mostly family people, mostly, you guys running? Mostly family people are, they are going to sit home. Like, for example, if I was in Dubai, I know business is bad next year, 2021, I'm afraid. What am I going to do? I'm going to tell my wife, see, listen, let's eat at home. Let's cook at home, let's eat at home. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm expecting a bad 2021. I'm expecting a very bad one. So, I have to also be smart. So I have told my wife, we're going to eat in the house. We'll cook in the house. And, we're not going to splurge on going outside eating expensive stuff. We're going to eat simple food. Okay, that's number one. The second thing, what are we going to do? Do we actually need some expenses? Okay, where can we cut down? Fine, let's do this. Number three, okay, health is important. Let's buy good stuff, but let's do it at home. Then next one, is there any good sale? Is there anyone selling something that they don't need, but we can buy for cheap? That we need, but instead of buying brand new, let's buy it 50% off. Okay, so let's save some money there. Then my wife is also going to be on the lookout for, okay, really good deals, but not in a hurry. Just going to make a list. Okay, when the special offer is there, we'll buy it that time. No need to rush. And last and not the least, cash in hand is power. Cash invested somewhere is not in your hands. So, keep the cash in hand and wait and look and observe. Don't buy impulsively. Take your time. If they say, oh, you lose the sale, no problem. We are not going to die. We will live. This is going to be the attitude of people. So now it's going to continue like this for January. In desperation, they will have their sales. But by the time season's dull, and companies will start employing for the following year. I would say till Jan 15th, everything is going to be dead. Dead. Literally dead. February 14th is going to be a little bit of, yay, Valentine's Day and all that bullshit, because companies have to spend, so the people who are idiots, who are jobless, they will spend over Valentine's Day, enjoy love and this and that and all the commercial nonsense. Now, Expo 2020 as of now doesn't seem to be working out well. They are roping in Amitabh Bachchan, they are roping in Shah Rukh Khan. They put all these ads, my Dubai, my Dubai. What the fuck is? Yeah, your money, it's my Dubai. Don't have money, it's fuck off. It's do, buy. That's what it is. It's only if you have money, it's my Dubai. If you don't have money, it's bye. That's how it is. Stupid. Expo 2020, I've been checking around. They are worried. They are absolutely stressed out. They don't know what to do. They don't know what miracles to pull. Now, because even if they open up their economy, other countries have to allow you to travel and easily, right? So what are you going to do? And can you risk having a ticking time bomb of a pandemic that just spreads like crazy? Do you know how many people who have left Dubai, UAE, and gone back home, where they tested negative in Dubai for COVID, but when they landed home, they were positive? And then you have to stay 2 weeks quarantined. It's a fucking headache, man. I'll give you some interesting updates that will make you think also. I spoke to some other businessmen. They say that even this vaccine, it's not proven, it's speculation. Okay? The tests that they've conducted. Conducted tests based on what? Now everyone's coming with numbers from their ass. Oh, 90%, 92%, 94%, 94.5, 96.7. Everything is now 90. Yeah, because you have to push your stocks high, no? Now let's say the vaccine is available. You're going to produce 9 billion, almost, or let's say 3 billion, this thing, capsules of vaccine or whatever. What if, here's my big question, what if something goes wrong? What if some of the vaccines are tainted? In the hurry, see, when you take your own time and manufacture slowly, there are quality control checks. You just start producing in a hurry. Any error, whether human or whether technology or whatever, I'm not saying that there will be, but there's a possibility, most probably there may be. And if that happens, what the fuck do you do, man? Yeah, they'll say, yes, oh, we apologize. Okay, we'll give a compensation of, 100 million or some this thing. And we'll have a class action lawsuit, will be there, and they'll go on for the next 5 years or drag it on for 7 years. Are you willing to have your family take that risk? We don't know what is a side effect. At least me personally, I would rather have you guys take the vaccine, and since you're healed, by default I'll be okay, because now there's no more sickness, so I'm okay. I'll wait and watch and see if there is any mutation that is happening with you. If you're 100% healthy and after 1-2 years, okay, they proved there's no side effects, I might take it. I'm not gonna fucking take it. Just you come out and inject this into me, my baby and my wife and family, and what if something happens? Who you are fucking going to take care? As it is, we have enough headache. So this vaccine rolling out, I mean, every country is claiming so many things. WHO has not certified anyone. And now what if they're wrong? See, WHO has been wrong also. They've said, yes, we made a mistake. Who do you hold accountable? Do you know that WHO is not accountable to anybody? Just Google search this. WHO is accountable to who? To themselves. You have 197 members or something of UN. 197. Imagine you're the CEO for 197 members and you have to get their approval. You're not a leader. You're a fucking puppet. That's what you are. When will you guys understand this? Tell me. There's a Israel-Palestinian conflict. There is the Russia, all that nonsense. There is Chinese oppression and all that. What the UN is doing. So many people are dying in Africa. So many injustice in Africa. What the fuck is any country doing? Who the fuck cares? No, they are not involved because it doesn't benefit their economy. It's all about money, man. So this vaccine thing, anyway, What vaccine? What this? They just want to mint money. Okay, do this test, 200, thank you. Do that test, 400, thank you. Do this test, 1000, thank you. It's money. And oh, you didn't wear a fine. Okay, 1000 fine. You didn't maintain social distance, 2000 fine. Oh, you clicked a photo, 4000 fine. Oh, Dubai is a fine city, again another fine. Are you fine? Okay, good, one more fine. Fine. Khalas. Okay, come to Dubai, fine. Go out of Dubai, another fine. Do has 50 fills. Oh, you didn't use it, fine. Oh, you're closing the account, oh, fine. You have to make money, right? They say no, death by 1,000 cuts. So what else? Yeah, finally it comes to jobs. I asked them why they were not openly advertising it. They said the number of people who applied and the spam, we can't handle it. I said okay. So that's why they are not revealing. And to make sense, to be honest, it makes sense. Even I'm not sharing the vacancies because it's been a nuisance. So overall, this is what I wanted to share with you guys about Dubai. Just BR Shetty's thing, you know, we've already shared that and talked about it. I told you there is some other bits I cannot share. Anyway, as I come to know some more information, there is something coming, but I'm not too sure. I don't want to simply create a noise about it until I'm sure. I'll keep you guys posted, okay? So let me know your thoughts, comment down below. And this is me signing off. You guys take care.